Why should Scottrade be your online investing firm? Excellent customer service, $7 online trades, over 300 branch offices? Maybe you should ask investors. Scottrade, ranked highest in investor satisfaction with online investing services by J.D. Power and Associates.
All week, I've been focused on the hottest stocks from our good friends in the Soviet bloc. It took them a little while, but with 6% GDP growth, the Russians are giving our recessionary economy a daily pantsing that must be making tail gunner Joe McCarthy spin in his grave. The countries of the Warsaw Pact have surpassed us to become the second greatest capitalists in the world. Lenin would be proud. Wouldn't you, Lenin? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest capitalist of them all? Trotsky, on the other hand, probably wishes they'd stuck with communism. As the single greatest capitalists in the world are the Chinese communists. Times have changed. Stalin and Mao have given birth to a whole generation of bourgeois capitalist roaders who now put us Americans to shame with their ruble and yuan-loving rapaciousness, which is why tonight I am recommending... Take this one down because you haven't heard of it. CTC Media. Charlie, Tom, Charlie Media. For all you home gamers. This is the fourth largest TV broadcasting company in Russia. They own two entertainment channels. CTC, which targets all viewers from the ages of 6 to 54, but tries to be more focused on younger viewers. Maybe that means more shows like Gulag Break and less Law and Order KGB. They also got a channel for adult women from the young demo of 25 to the still young age of 60. It's called Domashny. You wonder how the Golden Girls plays in the Kremlin. I doubt the Politburo would approve of Desperate Housewives, but maybe it's a Putin favorite. Unless you think he prefers Babushka Runway or Real Wives of St. Petersburg. In total, CTCM owns 32 TV stations. But since they have zero news or political programming, the Russian government doesn't care. If you want to view CTCM as a traditional media company, it's got strong ratings. But I don't think we should use the same key metrics to evaluate an up-and-coming second-world television powerhouse that we would use to judge our tired old TV business in America, including that most-watched network. Why does the stock go down all the time if they're so most-watched? Riddle me that. By the way, of course, I don't include NBC Universal in any of these negative generalizations because, you know, at all times, I am a team player. No, I think CTCM works because of the growing ad market in Russia. Advertisements may be migrating from TV to the internet here in America. God, the Soviets, they're just beginning to figure out how to work the clicker. They use TV to advertise half of all advertising dollars that get spent in Russia. They really haven't started feeling the pain of the web yet, let alone DVRs. Think about it. Here in America and throughout the Western world, everyone's pretty media savvy, right? We're cynical. Advertising doesn't work that well for us. Russians may have become inured to political propaganda, but they're only just started to being exposed to real capitalist advertising, something that's 100% necessary in any fast-growing economy. Because how else will the Russians know what to buy with their newfound wealth? They don't even have the subliminal there. Niet, absolute! You must buy Stoli or Siberia for you! True ad. I saw it myself. The consensus estimates for 36% growth in Russia TV advertising. That's the polar opposite of the way things are here. CTCM has an 11.8% share of the national audience, just with the two stations I told you about before. In 2000, Russia was 20th in Europe when it came to advertising spending. Now, thanks to Russia's newfound prosperity, it's 6th. Since there's generally a strong relationship between a healthy, growing economy, which, just to rub it in, Russia and the former Eastern Bloc has, and we don't, and the willingness of advertisers to spend money, I wonder if they have those, like, no money down ads for mortgages. No, they'd probably shoot you if you default. The Soviet Union may have broken up, but at least when it comes to the airwaves, CTCM seems to be aggressively trying to put things back together. They bought 60% of the largest TV network in Kazakhstan. Channel 31, it's got a 7% share, where they've taken over management, which I guess means firing a lot of Borat wannabes, and relaunched the network this month. Like Russia, Kazakhstan is brimming with oil wealth, and its people just need television so they can watch the advertisements and know what to buy. CTCM is launching a TV company in Uzbekistan in the second quarter, too, in order to try to capture that coveted Uzbek demo. And maybe the best acquisition yet to come is of DTV. That's a men's entertainment channel in Russia with a 2% audience share, a deal that should close in the second quarter. I want you to think about this as kind of like Maxim, Gorky. CTCM should be able to aggressively cut. Guys, this is funny. CTCM should be able to aggressively cut costs as DTV's 10% operating margin is much lower than CTCM's 41% operating margin. Savings going to be gigantic here. This thing is just a really good story. It's like America 40 years ago. CTCM brings DTV in line with other channels. I also think this post-Soviet stock is ridiculously underpriced. Get this. You know, I sat all day trying to figure out what stocks have 30% long-term growth in this country other than Potash and Mosaic, Mel Gibson's own. CTCM has a 30% long-term growth rate, something that's increasingly rare in our diseased economy. And it trades at a mere 18 times expected 2008 earnings. I believe this stock, like many in the region, is getting a discount because too many people still think of Russia and its neighbors as broken second world countries. I call it the Brezhnev discount. I don't think that will last as people here come to realize that the former Soviet Union and its satellite states are growing. And a pure play on ad spending in Russia and its neighbors like TCCM is a great buy. Here's the bottom line. First of all, this is good. Remember I showed you that picture of America in terms of investing? Bad. This is all good. Like Yaroslav's good. Voronezh is good. Remember when I think they stopped, didn't Manstein get stopped there? Bottom line, the Russian stocks are coming. We have the certificates to prove it. These were given out to some of the people who worked really hard before they were imprisoned. And I think CTCM is a great play. This is from the Great Patriotic War. Actually, no, this is from Winning Chess. A super cheap way to play the rise of late-stage advertising capitalism in the great former Soviet Union. Lewis, Michigan. Lewis.
Hi, booyah. How you doing, Jeff?
Booyahski, Dad. What's shaking?
Okay, we want to know, I'd like to know how you see Rio and CPO in Brazil, and how you compare that to the Soviet stocks you've been talking about.
All right. I happen to think that you're really dealing with, weirdly, apples and apples. I think that Russia and Brazil have so much in common, other than the fact that in Brazil, you really do kind of have more of a democracy. In Brazil, you have more of a banking infrastructure. But Rio is, without a doubt, to me, the #1 mineral company in the world, which is why I've recommended it about 42 times on this show. And, frankly, Brazil and Russia, if you have one Brazil and one Russia in a portfolio of 10 stocks, I think you're going to do just great. We got to go down to Georgia. Not Georgia? You mean like Kazakhstan, Russia, Georgia? Mac in Kazakhstan, Russia, Georgia. Speak to me.
Hi, not Georgia, actually it's Cozumel, Mexico. Ready?
Oh, it's even better.
From Cozumel, Mexico.
A vacationing booyah, pin action booyah. What's up?
Thank you. Hey, Jim, I've got a question for you. I'd like to know if there's any stock or ETF that I can buy to make a play on the growth of the bullet trains and or their infrastructure in Europe.
Bullet train infrastructure. Boy, I'll tell you, the only infrastructure play that I really like over there is ABB. And that's more of a power play. I mean power plant play, not a power play like Russian power play. So I got to tell you, that's my only call over there. And I don't have it. I'm not going to extend it. If I find something good related to travel in Europe, I will certainly report it. Right now, I like Carnival Cruise because that's where they're moving their stuff to. We need to go to Zach in Michigan. Zachster.
Jim, what's going on? I want to give you a big Boca Raton, Florida booyah.
I love the fact that when we're in Michigan, we're going to Boca, and when we're in Georgia, we're going to Cozumel. Hey, maybe we go to Philadelphia and we go to Uzbekistan. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I want to know about Denmark, okay?
Denmark?
I hear a lot of great things. The people are happy. I mean, things are going well. How can I get into...
just because it's a happy group of people doesn't mean we're going to make any money. I mean, like, there's happy people all over the place. You know, like, that would be like we should invest in utopias. Other than Copenhagen, Boy, I'll tell you, I got a lot of controversy in the UST. Some people said I was really wrong on the site realmoney.com, which I write for thestreet.com. I have to do some work. I am not going to blindly tell you that the Denmark market is good or bad now that Victor Borge has passed on. Let me do some work on that. It's not NBC. It's not Universal. But it is Project Babushka. Oh, no, I think we might lose that one. No, I think we still have Project Babushka. It's Russian media. It's CTC Media. It's CTCM, the 4th most watched network, which is much better, as we know, than the one that goes down all the time. That's the 1st most watched network. Stick with Gulag Break. Stick with Cramer.